I'm bored. Let's read a book. Oh! Perlot's crafting. That was the ornately carved sign read. The chiseled letters, old temple-style script, were painted black. A pale, hard-finished coat that did not carry the gold overtones of most varnishes let the warm red oak tones shine through. As the morning mist beaded on my cloak, I tied Gerlach to the post in front of the shop. The winter had dragged out longer than usual, and when the spring had come, the rains and the cold had mixed. Like in the downpour that flooded the stable because I had neglected to clean the drainage gutters. Outside Gerlach's stall, cleaning muck and hay and ice chunks, with the rain sheeting across my neck and back, that had been a real joy. And cleaning myself afterwards had not been much more fun. "You must really like cold baths," Bostrick had observed with a straight face in his oh-so-respectful tone. "Next time you can join me," I had told him, but it had only stopped the banter for a while, until I was back on working in dry clothes. Recalling Bostrick's teasing, and glad that spring had finally come, I studied the chairs in the window, drawn especially to the sitting-room chair on the right. That design I had never seen, not even in Uncle Sardet's sketchbooks. The curves of the legs were understated, minimal, yet made the chair seem more delicate than it was. "You!" I looked up at the gruff voice. A thin man, not much older than I was. A thin film of sawdust stuck to the sweat on his forehead, and wearing a gray, tattered shirt under his leather apron, glared at me. I returned the look evenly. "Yes? Are you—" "Invite him in, Grizzard," added a raspy voice from within the shop. Grizzard looked puzzled, and I stepped around him. Directly inside the shop were 3 chairs, elegant in the Himalayan style, but a trace too heavy in the legs, and square cross braces. Between them was a low table, the kind whose use I had never figured out except as a place on which clutter collected. While all the pieces were good, they were clearly high-class rejects, too. Expensive for the tradesmen, and not quite good enough for the gentry. Probably Grizzard's work, rather than Perlot's. Somehow, Perlot never would have let a poor piece get that far. Reddish coals glittered in the corner hearth, with a warmth I could feel even from the doorway. Perlot stepped around a bench and toward me. I nodded. "So we meet again, Laris, or should I say Craftmaster Laris?" Perlot stopped behind the stairs, next to the half wall that separated the small waiting area from the workshop. I bowed to the Craftmaster, and I meant it. His work was good, some of it, like the chair in the window, not only as good technically as Uncle Sardet's, but possibly even more inspired. I was admiring the sitting-room chair. It's possibly the best piece I've seen like that. The narrow, craggy face creased as he frowned, and the Craftmaster closed his mouth. Then he wiped his hands on the underside of his apron. "Mean that, don't you?" I nodded again. "Grizzard, stop standing there like a dolt. You still haven't finished the detailing on the chest." "Yes, sir." Grizzard scurried around us, the puzzle lines still graven in his forehead. "Would you sit down?" "Only for a moment, sir." I eased into the chair toward which Perlot had gestured, and he sat down across from me. "Like to set things straight, young fellow." "There's nothing to set straight, Master Crafter." "You didn't know me, and you had never seen my work. I could have been a wood gifter from Freetown or Spidlar." Perlot motioned for me to silence, and I stopped. You're not. I've looked at your work. It's better than any journeyman's here in Fenard. And it's getting better. Some of it is mastercraft level, like the chair you did for Wessel. I must have lifted my eyebrows. Burlot smiled. He asked for my opinion. I told him he stole it from Destrin, and that was the single best piece in his house, including the dining room set I did last year. You flatter us. No, I don't flatter. I'm not Destrin, poor soul. It's you. What do you intend to do? Take over Destrin's shop and his daughter? Put him out to pasture? The question was idly phrased, but dark eyes hung on me. I shook my head slowly. Sometimes I wish I could. It would be simpler that way. But that would not be fair nor right, in too many ways. I am still a journeyman with much more than a little left to learn. Grizzard was still trying to listen and concentrate on the detailing, and both efforts were suffering. This time Burlot nodded. Bostrick won't ever be in your class. He will be a good craftsman, given time and training. He might be, the master crafter smiled. Don't sell yourself short, young fellow. You've changed a lot since the time you came. Besides, there's a difference between quality of your cabinets and the quality of your soul. He laughed. Poor Destrin, first-class soul, but I don't think you can craft a good wood without order in your soul, I added. Nor do I, boy. But an orderly soul doesn't guarantee good work. Having an orderly soul and being an order master are two different propositions. He stood up. What will you do about that chair in the window? Nothing. It's your design, I grinned. Now, if I can find something as good and different. You mean that, don't you? I nodded. Give Destrin my best, Laris. Do what you can while you're here. He stood up abruptly. With that dismissal, I also stood, but did take the time for a last look at the chair before stepping out into the spring warmth. Gerlach waited patiently, as always. He whinnied. I know, you don't get enough exercise, but I try. And one of these days we'll take a longer trip. Just be glad that you're not hauling wood for the mills. You could belong to a carrier and not to a poor and impoverished woodcrafter. Gerlach didn't seem impressed, so I patted him on the shoulder after I mounted. He didn't flatter me, honest beast. Burlot's comments about Bostrick bothered me. While I wished I could avoid it, before long I would have to talk to Brettel. Destrin continued to fail, and nothing I could do would help but prolong his failing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of my videos. See y'all in the next one. Goodbye!